guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing wear test and review on the new Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r foundation, and this is the soft matte powder foundation. So Fenty just came out with this. I have loved every product, I guess, but especially their complexion products that they've come out with so far. So when I saw that they were coming out with a powder foundation, so if you're interested in seeing my review and wear test on the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r powder foundation and how it wears and covers my acne and acne prone skin, then just keep on watching. I have already done my eyeballs, my eyebrows, and I even did concealer just in the center of my face, but I've done nothing here. As you can see, I usually use powder foundations as setter foundations. I don't usually use it as like my only foundation. I usually love putting it over liquid just to give me even more full coverage and just help me look even more blurred and flawless. But I saw a lot of people were testing this on its own, so I figured I'd do both just because I want to see the coverage on it, and I realistically don't use powder foundations like that, so I also want to give it a fair shot how I would usually use it to see if it's worth it, if it's not, and just how it wears in general. I think the only powder foundation I've ever used just on its own is actually the Bare Minerals one. I'm a liquid gal at heart. I love it and I just love setting it, so we'll see. So I got the shade 190. So this is what it looks on the inside. Super pretty, and I like how it has two mirrors. So there's like a mirror right here, and then when you lift the powder, there's like another little mirrored compact situation, and then you get the sponge, which is nice, feels good. Let's just give a quick little skin update. We are healing a lot, which is good. Not too many active situations, but we still got a lot to cover. So right now I'm going to use just the powder foundation by itself, and then throughout the video I'll use it kind of with my liquid foundations just to see how it holds. That way I'll probably be using the Fenty Beauty hydrating foundation just to keep it like a Fenty vibe. I want to do like a mix. So on this side of my face, we're a little more healed. I'm gonna actually be taking first this Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer just to see how it kind of covers with this on top, and then set it with the Fenty powder just so we can kind of get a sense of it without having to go full on liquid like we will do later. So this side we have a lot more to cover. So this side I'll be just using the powder foundation to see how it covers there. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this concealer and put it on. I'm just gonna blend that in, and obviously I'm not gonna judge this side where I put concealer on the same way as I'm gonna judge this side based on coverage, but again, just to kind of give me a sense before we do like a full liquid foundation situation, how I would wear it, because I would also wear it this way, just putting on some concealer and then just the powder a work day, and I have to do like a quick zoom where I'm like running like some errands throughout the day. So what I would do usually is I would set it kind of with this fluffy brush or even my Tati Blendable. I'm just gonna use a brush. This is gonna be our first dip in the powder. And let's see how this bad boy lies. Oh, we'll also see how the shade works out. It might be a little dark for me. It's pretty set. The description of this powder foundation: a medium to full coverage for all, light as air, flawless filter effect. And it looks like this comes in 53 shades, which is amazing. So now let's go on this side with just the powder. I want to use kind of the Tati Blendable, but I'm gonna go in with a little powder puff situation just because if you don't have the Blendable or something like that, we'll see how kind of this tests out. And again, this is the side with no concealer. Ooh, that instantly kind of, I just put it over like my pore area, and that looks very, very nice. The shade match I'm unclear about. With acne prone skin, I never really expect a powder to give me the coverage like a liquid or a concealer would, so I'm not super surprised that it's still very obviously peeking through. It is covering a lot more than I thought it would, so I'm just gonna keep kind of layering, which is the only time I'll ever like layer foundations because usually I just don't. Or the shade 190, just for your reference, is for light to medium skin with warm undertones. So I always like going a little darker rather than lighter with my facial powders just because that's what I prefer. We are looking pinky reddish, like I don't know if you can tell. Obviously, since the Nars concealer is more yellow toned, it's gonna add more yellow to kind of balance me, but this side is looking it's warm, but it's just a little more, I don't know if red's the word or like pinky, I'm not sure. So as you can see, we can still see it peeking through a bit, but it did help kind of even out my skin tone. I feel like my pores look a lot more blurred. All right, I obviously love this side a lot better because again, added the concealer for that coverage, but from far away, even close up, it doesn't look terrible with just the powder on, and not in a bad way that you've kind of worn it throughout the day, kind of like your foundation's faded look, but not in a bad way. Like it's still covered and you can still tell you're wearing makeup. And then this side, my skin's pretty dry, so my concealer is like clinging on to dry patches. Looking pretty dry here. Overall, I'm not mad at it. Obviously, we were looking dry here, like I said, but I'm going to attribute that to the Nars concealer and not the foundation. But that is it for the foundation. It doesn't claim to be transfer proof or super long wearing that I've seen. It's just kind of more providing that coverage and being light as air. I do love the vibe though that Fenty's given me. Like, they just all match and I love it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just do the rest of my face really quick. Fenty facing it, so I'm just gonna take the Private Island bronzer right now. And I'm just gonna stick to the powder products. You know, I don't wanna do too much too soon. Layers on top very nicely, I must say. Since Fenty doesn't have powder blushes yet, would love that they come out with one, but I actually love taking Killawatt highlighter in Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule, and I love using it as like a blush topper slash like glowy blush. Like, I just think it's so pretty. Whoa. I look a little insane, but we're going to fix that, don't worry. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face and I will come back and we will see the final look. I will be right back. So now my makeup is all done again. We're a little glowier than I probably should have gone, but overall, again, I just think I still look so blurred, which is super surprising. I don't feel like it is settling into like fine lines or anything like that. I do feel a little bit dry on this side. Again, I think that's more due to the concealer and just like my skin being dry in general. And it doesn't look terrible here where it's just the powder foundation. Like, you could, again, you can still see it's not like full coverage by any means, even with just like the powder puff, but it's not terrible like I expected. They look around the same. This side of my face is looking a little muddier just because I think I added too much bronzer and stuff, but they look good and I'm actually very impressed. Right now it is 5:30, so I'm gonna see how this wears throughout the night and wear it as long as possible, and then I will check back with you at the end of tonight and I will see you tomorrow when we try it with liquid foundation. I am back. It is the next day, so I did my check-in. So now I have all my foundation on. Today I'm using this Fenty Powder Over Foundation now. So I used it over the Fenty Hydrating Foundation. This is the Pro Filt'r Hydrating Foundation, and this is in the shade 240 because apparently I'm dumb and I get nothing in the same shade range. 190 on top of 240. We'll see how it works. Maybe they'll balance each other out. Usually I've been loving doing it with my Tati Blendiful. So I have a fresh clean one. I cleaned them yesterday. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Blendiful. So I'm just gonna take this, get some of that, and then I'm just gonna lace it on my face. Definitely like looks darker than it looks in the pan, so it might just be fine. Like if I were to get the powder version of 240, I feel like it'd be way too dark. I don't know if I'm happy with that. This is my face so far. You can still see it peeking through. This side's a lot better. I think it's my fault because I didn't conceal and I like used the beauty blender, so it took up a lot of the coverage. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face and then we'll be right back to check in. So this is all my makeup done. Once again, it is sitting really well on top of the powder. Also, this highlight is from Precious Formula. Overall, I'm liking how it's looking. I feel like all I see is my beaming highlight, but let's just take a look and see in the mirror. I like the way it is sitting on top of my skin. I feel like it looks really good and pretty poreless. So I said it again with the Rare Beauty Always an Optimist, and I actually feel like I look pretty like natural and like glowy and dewy, even though it's like on a powder. I do think it is also because obviously I'm also wearing the Hydrating Foundation by Fenty, but I think it looks pretty good overall. Like, I really like it. I like the natural finish. I like how I look pretty poreless right here. It looks like it's settling a little bit, like a smidge, but nothing too crazy. Honestly, I want to blame the coverage on myself and not using a brush to blend out. I use a beauty blender against my better judgment. I'm not expecting this to be a super full coverage powder to cover my acne and acne scarring, if that makes sense, just because I don't really expect much of that on its own. I mean, I actually want to see if it builds even more, so I'm actually going to use the sponge it came with just for ease of it all. And let's see once that it's like kind of set now here. Oh, that's adding a little bit more. Oh, so it did cover that a little bit more. Nothing too crazy, but I did see a difference in coverage. Overall, I think I really do like this powdered foundation. It's not in my top favorite coverage-wise. I do think I have other foundation powders that are a little bit more coverage than this. I do like that this is a little bit more buildable. I was surprised when I used it yesterday and it gave me actually a pretty decent amount of coverage for just being on the powdered side. Like you guys saw, like I was like pretty shook about it. And I like how poreless it makes me look overall and how it doesn't look too powdery even just by itself. I'm gonna keep wearing it for the next couple of days and I'll probably know by the end of this week my super if I like it, but so far we're on the right track and I really do like this powder foundation. I think Fenty kills it with complexion products. Highly recommend so far. I totally think it is worth it. If you have more severe acne than I do, like more moderate to cystic acne, I don't think you are gonna like this for the coverage. Again, maybe for something just to kind of even out the skin tone, but again, it's not gonna be like a full coverage situation if that's the type of thing you're looking for. But that is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below if you are going to be trying this foundation out. Do you like it? Do you not? Or do you have any other favorite powder foundations? So leave your recs in the comments down below. While you're here, you can go ahead and watch another video if you would like. So we have some more foundation recs here, or we can even just get more into skincare. So I have a bunch of videos reviewing different foundations that would go great probably with this powder, so you can go ahead and check these out. Or if you want some more skincare content from me, there's some bingeable videos here for you to go on and click. I will see you in the next video, depending on which one you pick.